What's up, co-reporters, and welcome back to my channel. This is an extremely sensitive video. I'm not trying to be salacious at all by any stretch of the imagination. Unfortunately, you don't even have to be salacious when it comes to stories like this about the inappropriate things that Farrah Abraham involves her minor daughter in. I really mean it when I say that I personally, genuinely, in my opinion, feel as though Farrah Abraham should be investigated, just based off of all of the things that she has had her young daughter involved in over the years. It feels as though, to me personally, in my opinion, it feels as though she's grooming this child, and it just keeps getting worse and worse the closer this child gets to the age of 18. And I cringe to even say that. It makes me want to cry. It really does, because I feel terribly for Sophia. I really do. Okay. I was referred to this post by you guys because I'm aware that Farrah Abraham recently appeared on the Dumb Blonde podcast, and I saw a soundbite of hers circulating around the internet where people were really hyping her up for her daughter's form of self expression, right? Her daughter's into like gothic style and stuff like that. And I gotta be honest with you guys, this is not to judge gothic people in general and to paint them all with the same brush, but I kind of feel like the reason why Sophia in particular is into this style is because it's in direct opposition to her mother's style and what her mother is trying to impose onto her. And we're going to get into that a little bit more later. I don't even know where to start, you guys. I'm genuinely disturbed by this. And in another part of this podcast, Farrah and Bunnie, they discuss the possibility of Sophia Abraham, who's only like 14, 15 years old, starting an OnlyFans account. And we all know what OnlyFans is, right? It's an adult only website. It's for amateur porn stars to make a living selling adult content. So this podcast was taped with both Farrah and Sophia in the room. And before we even get into the part where Farrah seems to negotiate the idea of her minor daughter participating in that website one day, I want to play an audio of what happened at a different part of this podcast that, again, was filmed in the presence of Farrah's young daughter. And it's a part where Farrah talks about some of the things that she sells on her own OnlyFans. And you guys who have children, tell me if you think that this is an appropriate conversation to be having in the presence of a teenage child.
Because that's just how they are. I have read mixed reviews. Did you sell poop or did you not sell poop?
Oh my god, that's so funny. I sell my poop slime in my office. I made poop slime and we sold out of that. But yeah, it's crazy. I don't know why people are obsessed with poop. I have never sold my poop. I do get offers literally every day for it. And it's crazy. Like my boyfriend's like, he's like, I find it so disgusting, but he's like, you have all these guys just wanting to pay you like $5,000 for you to send them shit. And he's like, I can't even pick up your own dog shit. Like, he's like, I don't know how this.
So there you go. Farrah discussed selling her number twos on that adult only profile in the presence of her daughter. And not only that, but she talks about her tape. She's still pretending that this is something that like was leaked on her, even though we know it was a negotiated thing with a hired porn star and everything like that. And she also talks about selling her ex toys and molds of her private parts, again, in the presence of her daughter. This is so inappropriate, you guys. This is why I feel like she should be investigated. And this is not the first, second, or third time that she has done something actually inappropriate and perverted in the presence of her daughter or involved her daughter in certain devious behaviors. Do you guys remember that time where Farrah went to get butt injections and then she brought her daughter, who was maybe like 8 at the time, to film her from the bottom end? Because we've got that right here. Take a look at that. How inappropriate was that for her to film for social media? And this was for her client, if you know what I mean. Then do you guys remember the time where she brought her daughter to Paris, to the Eiffel Tower, which is in the middle of the city, you guys? We do not have a beach in Paris. There's no reason for people to be walking around in bathing suits. She and her daughter were parading around in bathing suits, you guys, in the city. And you know what surrounds the Eiffel Tower? Rats, tourists, bikes, motorcycles. Like, Rug dealers can be down there. Like, it's just not a place where you go, you frolic around in your bathing suit. It was a very, very weird thing. That felt like an advertisement to me. We also saw her bring her teenage daughter, again, her underage daughter, to the red light district. I think Sophia was 12 or 13 years old at the time. And we all know that the red light district is, kind of like a street full of brothels and whatnot, where adult workers work and everything. Right. And you know what they do for work. We also saw her posting photos and videos of her yachting. Right. She was on a yacht in a bikini with her daughter and some strange men as well. And by the way, and I've got more photos, you guys, right, of Farrah. I'm not going to include Sophia in these other photos, but I got some more photos of Farrah, very scantily clad in very strange places, in the presence of her daughter. That I'm going to put on my channel membership section, just because it's too much. Okay, it's too much. It's going to get this video blocked by YouTube, so I can't put it in public YouTube. So I'm going to put that on my channel membership section. And correct me if I'm wrong, but did Farrah not bring her daughter and her father with her when she went to sign her contract for the X tape? Like, this poor girl has been involved in just a very seedy, nefarious like industry and world practically from birth. And it's just so scary to me, and it's so sad to me. It makes me feel like Farrah is grooming her for something. And that's why I feel like the way that she's gone gothic and stuff is her rejecting that. And it's her subverting the male gaze, because she knows that, grown, deviant, disturbing men who should be castrated, ran over 1,000 times, right, buried alive, are watching her and counting down the days. And I've got an example of that in a video that I published about 3 years ago, when Sophia was about 10 or 11 years old. Do you guys remember when Farrah and Sophia had that podcast, and Farrah started asking Sophia if she was sprouting pubic hair, because there were some people who wanted to know on the internet? Take a listen to this and pay very close attention to how strong, how intelligent, and how aware and how disturbed Sophia is as an 11-year-old child. And think about the way that she presents herself today. I think her sense of style is fantastic, but I also think that her sense of style is a protest.
Honey, are you going to shave under your arms or no?
Why do you always have to talk about that?
Well, you did wear a jumper that shows your armpits.
I know, but it's not visible.
Okay.
And you're not trying to expose me and TMZ. And it's really embarrassing.
You were exposed on TMZ. You're so silly.
You exposed me on TMZ.
So I think people want to know where you are. If you're sprouting out hairs and BL.
Yeah, but one single person in this earth would talk about their child growing armpit hair.
Honey, that's the problem. People don't talk about puberty, and then people don't know how to deal with it.
It's embarrassing and awkward.
It's not even awkward, and it's not even embarrassing. Everyone has it.
Yes, and it's embarrassing to talk about it and spread it all over the whole world.
Well, maybe if people talk about it in an embarrassing way.
Privacy.
You
clearly, you do not respect that.
Honey, I am all good with the privacy.
You
So,
not good with the privacy.
okay, I really need to finish this Excel sheet so it can be done, okay?
So there you go. Her daughter was only 11 years old, but she was so aware of her mother's creepy following of grown-ass men who were wondering about the state of her body hair. She was aware that her mother did not respect her privacy and was ready to sell her out to TMZ and the whole world as well. That's crazy to me. Like, it's sad to me that an 11-year-old has to scold her own mother like that about respecting her privacy, about her body and what her body is currently doing as it's growing, you know? So when you just think about all of these instances in which Farrah put Sophia in such creepy positions, right? And now you listen to this podcast episode that she's filming with Bunnie, who is a corn star, who's also on Onlyfans, about just the adult entertainment industry and the things that Farrah does within there. And now they shift gears into talking about Sophia joining that. Let's take a listen, and then we're going to share some more opinions.
If Sophia ever wanted to make an OnlyFans, would you allow her when she's of age?
Well, I definitely, out of the question now.
Right, of course.
Reporters actually have asked me that already.
Yeah.
It was like literally thrown.
No, not now. That's she's underage.
Yeah,
that's
I
weird.
was like, guys, that's like not allowed.
Yeah,
I don't know where
but I mean, she
from.
is almost 18, so I think that's probably why.
I have so many years to go.
I'm counting them down. I'm like, kid, you got 2 years. 2 years to get the hell out. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't think Sophia wants to do that. Like, Sophia basically barely uses social media.
Yeah.
Sophia, do you have any use or need for anything that's an adult-only platform?
No.
She said no.
No. You know, and I think I do have that need because I had managers and agents basically like be like, I'll run it, I'll start it, I'll do it. Like, you have to do this. And I didn't even do it myself, open it. So I think because it was like a different journey in that, and again, like I am a sex symbol, like I am something in that arena. And I think you can't disown that or act like it's not. And so,
well, you had a sex tape that came out, correct?
Yeah, and a lot of, you know, that I had.
So there you go. They sit there, these true grown-ass, creepy-ass women, and they ask a 15-year-old or a 14-year-old, she's going to be 15 in May, if she's going to make an OnlyFans when she's 18. And Farrah, as her mom, does not protect her, shield her from that question or any of the other adult conversations that they were having. I think it's perfectly fine for Farrah as an adult entertainer to have discussions about her career, but to have these discussions in the presence of a child, to me, is just really inappropriate. And then for the child to be roped into this conversation, I think that both Farrah and Bunnie should be ashamed of themselves for that, because there's no reason to be asking a 14-year-old girl if she's going to get involved in this. I don't think that if Sophia was a little boy, they would ask that sort of a question. Why is it that you look at children, you know, especially, you know, female children in this capacity? It's really, really disturbing. And it shouldn't be normalized the way it just was on that podcast, you know. And the fact that Farrah says, you know, she can't do it now, like it's not allowed, instead of just being like, it would be completely inappropriate. She is a child, like what the heck? And then she talked about a bunch of people constantly asking her if, you know, that was an avenue that Sophia would pursue. So when you look at the way that Sophia dresses now, right, all in black, super, you know, alt, super emo, you know, super pierced up and stuff like that at her young age, right? To me, I see this as her protecting herself. I see this as a shell to defend herself and protect herself against her mom. Who knows what kinds of conversations Farrah is having with Sophia behind closed doors, if in public she is willing to do these creepy things with her, like brag about taking her to the red light district, bring her on yachts when she's prancing around in lingerie, you know, style bikinis with strange men, you know, have her filming her from up her butt and stuff like that, right? And to have her on a podcast asking her about her body hairs, have her out in her bathing suit in the middle of a busy city, you know, in an area covered with rats. Like, what kinds of conversations is she having with Sophia? You know, I really, really feel like the way she expresses herself is a defense mechanism against this. Is her sense of style cool and everything like that? Yeah, absolutely. I love the outfit and stuff, you know, and I love the hair and whatnot. But I think it's a lot deeper than that. You know, I think it's a lot deeper than that. I think she's protecting herself against her mother and her mother's creepy clients and digital Johns and whatnot. This is so sad, you guys. I really do not even know what to say. Like, I can't even imagine the things this child has seen, heard, you know. I'm so sad. I'm so happy. You know, I will say this. Thank God Farrah stopped at one child, because it's sad enough that this child is Sophia and that she's had to be traumatized by all this stuff. At least I'm assuming she's been traumatized by this nonsense that her mother has brought around her. But thank God it stops here. It's not multiple children being traumatized by this crazy woman. I'm floored, you guys. I really, really am. You know, we all know that Farrah is not all there, but I thought that this Bunnie character was supposed to be a progressive, like, you know, more intelligent woman, but she's actually sitting there having these kinds of conversations in front of a child and asking these kinds of questions about her child. Like, she's a creep. She really is. To me, she's a creep too. This is just so freaking inappropriate. And then for them to turn around and ask this 14-year-old girl if she wants to get nude on the internet in 4 years when she's of age, like, are you guys okay? This is so ridiculous. There is no excuse for this. I think that they both honestly owe Sophia a public apology, because there's no world in which this is acceptable or should be considered normal. Anyway, I really do think that someone needs to look into Farrah, because the things I've seen that she's involved this child in are wholly inappropriate. And those are just the things that she has put on the internet. And that's the stuff that she thinks is appropriate, right? So imagine the stuff that she qualifies as inappropriate, aka not suitable for the internet. Do you even want to imagine that? I don't. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section down below. And as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.